This is Spoken by Elswyth, a Femdom Hypnosis podcast, Season 4. Today's session is all about discovering your Femdom hypnosis suggestion style through my crash course. The session, it requires you, first of all, to have the Season 4 deepener fresh in that lovely mind of yours. If it isn't, go listen to that session a few times and then come back and play this one. You can find the session free on the spokenbyelswyth.com website. Like all of my Femdom hypnosis sessions, listen to this one in private, where you're unlikely to be interrupted. All movements suggested include the option to do so in the Headspace or in everyday life, whichever feels right. You are also required to have a sense of humor, a willingness to be aroused, and a strong desire to go where I lead you. Now, this session, it's unlikely to cause any upset, but it is a trip through different suggestion styles and structures, including some different themes as well. Bravery may be required, but I think that a sense of humor and pleasure and obedience, that'll be enough. Now, I promise you won't end up naked, but I don't promise that you won't end up doing something outside of your comfort zone. As that quote goes, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the triumph over it. So now that I've talked about bravery enough to get your heart rate going, let's get started. This is Discover Your Suggestion Style with Elswyth's Crash Course, spoken by Elswyth. We are starting this session with a brief chat about hypnosis and hypnotists. As I speak, I want you to enjoy the sound of my voice, my cadence, and the pleasure of a brand new session for you to enjoy. Breathe slowly, deeply, and relax as you know that you need to relax. You can allow yourself to fall into that familiar state. And don't worry about if or when you'll fall into trance. You know the many triggers and word runes in my collection that, well, they practically guarantee your success. Now, hypnosis, it's a word that's been overused to the point of basically robbing it of any real meaning. Sometimes when one tries to describe or define an experience, attaching a specific label to the experience, it limits the way the experience will be perceived. For example, if a new arrival to a social event is introduced to you as a guy that's recently sober, how will your perception of the person be influenced by that recently sober label? Would you react to the person in the same way if no such introduction was given? When you consider a simple, concrete object, like a chair, the tendency for labels to bias you and get in the way of open-minded experience, it's not so troublesome. The word chair represents something tangible, that most people can experience in the same way. In considering something as abstract and complex and subjective as hypnosis, the difficulties arise almost immediately. The word represents different experiences to different people, literally preventing the attainment of a precise shared meaning. The same is true for submission, for female-led relationships, BDSM, and so on. The experience is different to different people. Now, with hypnosis, traditionally it's been considered a subjective state of experience, of being in hypnosis, in which the individual has capabilities or experiences generally regarded as atypical of the normal waking state. Hypnosis is also considered to be a process doing hypnosis, in which a hypnotist offers suggestions to a subject or a client. Both of these concepts are correct, yet both are limited in using the word hypnosis to describe an individual subjective state, and also a process of offering suggestions to another person. When one word comes to describe as many different experiences as hypnosis has, there's a lot of opportunity for misunderstanding, mislabeling, misconception, and confusion. So while each viewpoint adds to the understandings, it also kind of frustrates any efforts to achieve unity. Because hypnosis is one word for many different kinds of experiences, most people's exposure to hypnosis remains quite general. The average person, which you are not, is led to believe that hypnosis is hypnosis regardless of context. Furthermore, because the word hypnosis is used for many different experiences, so many are skeptical or just frustrated with how to share their experience of it. The context matters. The context is actually the key to what defines it and gives it substance. Now, for us, hypnosis is the way to meet in a huge multitude of places, spaces, often referred to as the shared headspace. You know your way to the listening room. You know your way to the dressing room. Quite likely, you know the cafe where I found you, the streets that you've walked down to the familiar plant shop, and more. This myriad of visualizations and experiences that also lead to a retraining, remaking of you. There's this odd misconception, probably due to the incredible over-standardization of hypnotic procedures that some experts like to promote. The idea that there is one way, and that this one way works for all. That if you say 2 + 2, your subject, listener, will automatically know that equals 4. But what if your listener doesn't know the word 2? Or, in their deep state, their math skills are discarded as quickly as panties in the bathroom, when a quickie is on offer. Too many advocate and lean on the verbatim use of prepared scripts as some kind of simple formula that always offers glowing success, or ones who use cheap tricks and rely upon you to just simply play along. And you don't actually want to just play along, do you? You want the real thing, the genuine experience. And so that simple-mindedness, it robs hypnosis of its real potency, the strength that's derived from the recognition and use of unique experiences and needs. Spontaneity and flexibility, they're essential for the best results in doing hypnosis. The hypnotist should also lose herself in the experience of weaving and creating this perfect space. I love giving this space to you, keeping you within it, and knowing that this space is where the magic happens, the magic of us. Now, it is a complex and demanding skill to harness this ability of being dynamic and spontaneous. It does take practice. I'm not just tooting my own horn, but I do practice this craft. I love this craft. It is what sets me apart and what brings you to me. I know how to create this space with a blend of structure, style, and whimsical ingenuity that honors the creativity, intelligence, and devotion that you bring to our duo. I know how to create a world that is as real to you as your corner store, to teach you positions to assume that feel as natural as shaking hands. I know how to stay in your head, and you know how to welcome me in. People will likely continue to use the term Femdom hypnosis to offer a label for what we do. But it only implies the use of hypnosis, suggestion, and kink in the most general sense, and reveals very little else about what I actually say and do with you. I'm going to lead you through different suggestions, some blended into small scenes and others just there. You may find yourself moving through different levels of trance, and that's okay. With each fluctuation, you notice it means you learn more about yourself. You will be returned to a positive, energetic state when I finish with you. Today's creative exploration into suggestions will also leave you feeling proud of yourself for being able to keep up with me. As you know, I lead and you follow. This is an auditory experience. As I mention movements, you will know if you should follow in everyday life or only in this shared headspace. For ease of togetherness, see us in a familiar apartment. You know the feeling of this place. It's not one that you visited in everyday life, but in the shared headspace, it's the perfect, almost neutral meeting ground. The furniture is a blend of form and function, lamps creating pools of light. The interior leans towards a minimalist mindset. It has all of the cozy features of mid-century modern. This is a space where an intimate evening of conversation could be hosted just as easily as a small dinner party. You can easily spend hours here, reading in the Eames lounge chair. And maybe you already have. Your brain in that warm cocoon created by good fiction and immersing yourself in it, without a single care in the world, and that is you here. Here, you have nothing to do, nothing to worry over. You know exactly how to behave and what is expected of you. No surprises, no stress of decision making. I lead and you follow. You can sit like a slut. And while sitting there in all of your glorious sluttiness, I want you to open your mind to another idea. On the count of 3, this apartment will be on a luxury yacht. The same furnishings and mood, but all moved onto a boat. The boat is rocking back and forth. Be careful walking. 1, 2, 3. Feel the movement. Now close your legs and get up and fetch us both a fresh drink. You can do it. I'll enjoy watching. You can feel yourself sink deeper into your role as you serve my drink. You cannot feel close to me when you ignore my commands. You will feel apart, alone, and know that you disappoint me when you do not obey. Sit. Go on and sit, and when you sit, you find that you cannot close your legs. Leave them spread wide apart. Turn my way. Let me see. You can experience this way of sitting as a confidence boost, a way to practice being eye candy. This confidence boost, it will stay with you later. When you sit on a sofa or a comfy chair, you can remember sitting this way, legs sprawled out, and you will remember my reaction. And you will remember how sexy you feel. The arousal is intense. Arousal is too polite of a word for this feeling, though, isn't it, dear? This is horniness. A horny mess of a man. Is that you? You can say it. I'm a horny mess. Again, I'm a horny mess. You cannot stop the urge to rub yourself, for your free hand to find its way to the most pleasurable of spots. Your legs are already spread open. You might as well put at least one hand there. Oh, is this a two-handed occasion? Go on. You enjoy showing me what a horny train wreck you can be. Your desperation for sexual pleasure. You enjoy my direct attention. You enjoy having me watch you. And if it makes you embarrassed or blush, well, you enjoy feeling embarrassed. You enjoy blushing. You enjoy squirming under my gaze. And you're really enjoying having both of your hands there, rubbing. It's time to give up one of those hands. You will place a finger in your mouth. Go on, either hand is fine. One finger in your mouth and suck it. Put on a show for me. Be truly naughty and let your imagination go wild. Show me exactly how you want a mouth to work. And don't pretend that you don't want my mouth. You do want my mouth. You will be craving my mouth for the rest of the day. You will obey me. You can obey me fully. That is a direct suggestion. Wouldn't it be nice, dear, to follow my indirect suggestions as well? You will follow them just as you follow wherever I lead. I am your authority. I give you permission with my permissive suggestions to allow yourself to float in this submission, to want this desperately, and to give yourself to me. You can be an obedient man. You can choose positive paths with positive suggestions. And you can't picture your life without me. The negativity would permeate every aspect of your everyday existence. I give you experiences. I create a world that you yearn to visit again and again. This world created for you, for us. I create for you personas and roles and ways to be. I create a self for you. And in this place and in these roles and in this world where you earn everything you've been needing for so long, and where you know where all the good things come from, don't you? How could they come from anyone but the one who created this world for you? Of course, it also means I'm where the embarrassing, arousing, confusing, and floaty feelings come from too. The desperation for more, for closeness, for pleasing me. And you wouldn't have it any other way. When you wake, you will feel refreshed. Oh, one moment. You can stop sucking on your finger now. Good boy. When you wake, you will feel refreshed, happy for this time together. You will catch yourself smiling as you remember the feelings that went through you. You will want more, and that's understandable. There's always more to experience. 0, 1, 2, moving up out of trance. 3, 4, feeling happy and energetic. 5, there, fully back. You might want to move your hand and close your legs. Enjoy the rest of your day. I enjoyed this time with you.